How do you like coaching tight ends?
It's been awesome, man. It's a great group of guys. Fun to coach. They've been just done a great job taking ownership of the installation and the new offense, and they support each other. Benji Gosnell does a great job leading the group. He and Harry are kind of the older guys in the room and doing a great job bringing the younger guys along.
It's a different position, but did you work with them a lot in your previous stop assisting the offensive line there?
Yeah, you definitely get to. We do tackle tight end stuff and got to coach them on special teams a little bit, on the field goal team. And so knew those guys, played tight end myself, so I've always kind of had a soft spot for the position. Had a chance to work with them previously at Army and Georgia Southern as well. So that's not something that's foreign to me, but I'm at the same time learning a lot, with the new offense. So
is this, offensive line is very much, running the ball and run block and stuff like this. Does this expand your horizons as a coach that, there's a bit more passing concepts and stuff that you're working with at the tight ends?
Well, hopefully you're always learning as a coach, and continuing to grow every yeare. And no matter what offense you're in, you're exposing yourself to other, what other people are doing and what people are having success with. Coach Montgomery is an outstanding coach. I've learned a ton from him already. And just, every day I'm continuing to try to just make sure that I prepare and learn at the same time so I can teach these guys in the room.
Monty brought up preseason, how he wanted to build off the strengths of the team last year. You, as a former OC, and you worked all O-line and tight ends, how much did you help with integrating him into what worked for the team last year?
Well, he asked, things that he thought we might have had success with. So that he wanted to have some carryover, from things that we had done and had success with that if they fit into what his vision was for our offense, that we could continue to do those things. So mainly just asking myself and the guys on the offensive staff and really everybody on the offensive staff, that were here, what type things we felt like we had success with that might fit in with what we're doing now.
It's kind of a strange situation where the previous tight ends coach is still here. Stu's kind of walking around as a special teams coordinator now. How much does he help you out with that group? Does he kind of just walk by and kind of observe every now and then?
Well, first of all, the way he helped me the most was there's a great culture in that room. Walking into that room to coach those guys, and they're fantastic people, great work ethic. Can't say enough about that. We send them to installs at night, and they study it, come in with questions. I mean, it's they're really practicing like professionals. They're really taking ownership in what we're doing. So that's the biggest thing, that Stu did, was he left me with a great group of guys.
How quickly did you and Matt Moore get on the same page when it comes to tight end tackle blocking combinations and working with him on what schemes are going to work best within the
Right. Well, our job as tight ends is to make sure we're fitting in and using the same verbiage and same terminology as the offensive linemen, right? There's a lot more of them than us, and so it makes sense for us to do it exactly how they're teaching it. And so that's the most important thing, is that we're on the same page, with the tight ends are on the same page with the offensive linemen. We use the same techniques. We use the same verbiage, same coaching points. I think that's really important, because there's jobs we have to do where we're actually doing the job of an offensive lineman, and so it wouldn't make sense for us not to do it exactly like he wants it.
Benji got that taste of starting experience last year. Where are you pushing him, or where do you want to see him kind of make strides?
I think just fundamentally in the run game, he continues to challenge himself to get better. And that's one thing we made a goal as a group, just become more physical and more dominant in the run game. And to do that, you got to play with good fundamentals. And so we've worked really hard on that. And I think, he's taken that upon himself to really check himself on that daily. And then another thing I'd say is just continue to work on his conditioning, where he can, we can leave him in the game and he can get in a groove. And that's something he can do as we get into the off season and the summer.
Zeke and Jurikis are entering their third year with the program. As former quarterbacks, I think Stu mentioned blocking, especially run blocking, is something that they need to pick up on. Are you starting to see that out of them? That 2 years in the system, that run blocking is picking up, and that might give them more opportunities on the field.
Sure, I think we see some strides. And it just, first of all, they're 246-pound men now. They're not skill guys, and Jay Ricketts is bigger than I think he's probably 254, but in Zeke's case, he's up above 245. So just seeing themselves as that physical presence and then drilling it, and then trying to take that that drill work and then create confidence from it, to actually do it in live time. So I see steps every day. Also see times where we don't quite trust ourselves yet, where we got to do a little bit better and play faster, but they're going in the right direction for sure.
So you were a tight end back in the day?
I was.
What
yes,
was
sir.
the scouting report on younger Brent Davis?
Couldn't run, tough, wasn't going to get open, just, try to find a way to get on the field. As one of those guys.
Were you more of a blocker type
Yeah,
guy?
absolutely.
Is that where that background comes from? Because you've
Absolutely.
worked with a variety of different blocking schemes, and that seems
Yes,
to
sir.
sort of be your specialty.
Yes, sir. Well, it's just kind of so happened earlier in my career that I was a part of a lot of running offenses, and that's what we majored in, running the football. And so it's been something that's been we've had success with, and we're having success running the ball here as well. And that's something that Coach Montgomery wants to do.
Trying to integrate some triple option into that, or?
I don't know about that. Have to see how that goes. We don't. Every play we're reading somebody. So, they're just trying to take advantage of making people defend the whole field. And I think that's something that Coach Montgomery is really good at.
I think everyone viewed Harrison as last year like a blocking tight end, like Benji was the guy who caught passes. Is Harry taking a step forward and becoming a more polished tight end in terms of blocking and catching?
It's funny you say that. Last camp he had a really good camp in terms of catching the football and route running, and really did a nice job. It just so happened that a lot of times when he was in the game, we were in 12 personnel with both of them in there, and he was doing the hand down blocking jobs, and Benji was kind of playing the H or the Y off guy. So we're trying to create some more versatility and making guys work at different spots than maybe what they're used to. So I think that's the thing that'll help us going forward, where we're not just pigeonholed into this guy's got to play with his hand down, this guy's got to play off the ball.
When you have that background as an option offense type of guy, is it tough to shake that label as a coach when you go other places?
I don't know. Some people think you're coaching a different sport, when you coach option. But to be honest with you, everybody is running some form of option now, where it's either we're reading men or we're reading spots on the field, and so there's a lot of option football going on. It doesn't really present itself as such. There's a lot more space, and that's the thing with our offense is Coach Montgomery wants to make sure that we take advantage of space all the time, and so there's a lot of option elements in what we do and what everybody does. You could pick any offense in the NCAA right now and say that there's some option elements in it. You just got to look for them.